a little bit about my childhood. I know since when I was small that I'm very quick in capturing tunes without struggle. I know that I have a talent in musicality. My mom loves to sing. My dad loves to sing. My dad is a church choir leader back on his days. I think so. But then they say the Karazan Dusun, they're just quite natural in music, and you have everyone. I mean, like in the festival Kamatan, even in church or even in a gathering family, everyone's just natural to sing, and yeah, it runs in a. My family is not a celebrity of singer, but they do sing. I was in Sekolah Rendah Swasta Samanfung. Yeah, so in that school we've got a lot of activities like musical, drama, and music classes. But our music classes is quite more advanced, I think, because at a very early stage, our music teacher, a Filipino, is quite strict in music perfection. Yeah, in singing especially. Yeah, we won competition back on those days. We got number 1. We got first place in choir competition. I think that was the best achievement when during my younger days, when I was still in primary school. So that actually inspires and gave me discipline, because joining competition is like going through. That was the first exposure in joining. I mean, the first exposure in music discipline. You know, music discipline. It's the many repetition. You have to stay back, you know, and you have to look at other people's do their parts, and then it's your turn, and then you have to stay healthy in order to produce good vocals. Back on those days. Yeah. Our mentor and teacher, Ronald James. Mr. Ronald James is RTM. He was the RTM guitarist, arranger, used to be the head of combo for many years. So the inspiration came from him. So at a very early stage, we were already introduced to musicians like Liritno, musicians like Japanese jazz, Cassiopeia.
Let me cut you there. Did you came to like a crossroads now between are you a musician because you have to cari makan, or are you doing?
During that time I was with computer science. Before taking music, I was already in computer science and multimedia, computer programming, and also doing multimedia. But what happened was, computer studies and the trend changes very, very fast. So when you're repeating an exam the next semester, that program is no longer, it's no longer available. It's already upgraded. It's obsolete. No one's doing Pascal anymore. Back on those days, Fox Pro. It's C++, Java. So I knew learning skills. Of course, I would say, and during that time, my peers, I can only be as good as the textbook. I love and I have passion in computer, but I only can be as good as textbook, and the rest is already designing games. And I said, okay, this is, I know I'll be struggling in this line, because I said, maybe this is not what my forte.
You're involved with church.
Yes,
Do you see,
involved.
Do you see you going to music is
At first, no.
calling?
At first, no. I was following the trend, okay, like, education has got a trend. First it's full of IT, then it's full of nursing, then hospitality, all, it goes. So I was in the wave where IT was booming. And okay, so cyber cafe, baru mau buka 1-2, and wow, it's IT, and then, so I was in that era where, okay, it's definitely IT. So because like parents will say, oh, what your son's doing? Oh, they're into IT. Oh yeah, it's the in thing, So it was not, it was more of a curiosity and just want to be making progress, You finish your SPM and you gotta make progress and you want to take, so what's the next best thing? Everything was selling IT at that time. Everything, all colleges like selling IT. So it's not that it's not good, it's good, but that's just not my talent. But even before going to university, I was already good in softwaring in music technology, and I owed that to my buddy Chris Parera. We were already into music making and music arranging, experimenting, recording, So he was giving me all the ideas and he taught me music softwaring. So when I go for an interview, so for the music program, we were the first batch of music in Sabah. I think music education, the music program for degree, we were the first batch. Actually, we started with certificate. We've got one senior. Consider it's like the second batch of music, but we came in together. That's when things got more serious. When I get to meet the tutor, the professors, then I get to say, wow, professor, but in music, that's when it opened up. Like, doctors, I've got PhD in music, degree in music, or he's been in the industry in music. This guy's got a family, and now he's in the university and in music. And still jamming. So I said, maybe just finish up this program, and see what happens. Yeah, that's when things really got serious in music, after I start to see an example of people who made career out of music. So that is when things start to open up. Okay, people in KL, people graduated from UiTM Shah Alam, people, you get to hear, oh, from this university, and where are they now? And so some fuse both in the academic, some stays in the academic, and some combine academic and also entertainment in the industry. You can really clearly see here in KK is number one, teaching in education. Number two is by performing and being in the industry as professional musician. I'm happy to say both now. Sabah have grown to where it has allowed musicians to be able to get good income, both being a teacher or being a professional musician. Yes, we do now have enough venues. We have people who are investing in clubs, bistros, non-stop looking for musicians. Agents are growing, music agents are growing. They're always looking for talent, and you never run out of job, provided you're good and you're serious. If you're just good but you're not serious, you don't come on time, you seldom turn up for work, still it's a problem. For education, even though you're not teaching in the university or in the college, but just staying with music schools, teaching few music schools, you've got 30 students or 40 students, or even doing your own music classes at home, they can earn a decent 3,000 to 4,000, because as the grades goes, the lessons get more expensive.
And these are people who are teaching just on the side?
On the side, on the side. Some are doing it as full-time. I mean, like full-time as in daytime they are teachers, then afternoon when they go back from work, they can do it at home, classes, you know.
I wanna listen to your punya rungutan.
Okay.
Yang kau gerigitan.
Music industry is at its positive vibe. It's just that, yeah, well, okay, gergitan. Okay, what is gergitan? It's when, of course, when we have to deal with a lot of discounts.
Okay.
It's the rate, you know. It's like you have, and of course appreciation, like clients appreciation, stuff like when you take a musician, you book for the night, right? And there's this last minute negotiation, stuff like we can be hardworking with what they request, but we cannot compromise rates, what is agreed, you know, in terms of payment. If you're booked for the night, and if you're booked for the night, and just because your event has got a lot of programs, and suddenly say, hey, you know what, you just played one set, I think that should call it for discount. You can't, because you already let go a similar function that is willing to pay that same amount. So yang bikin gergitan is itulah, and they don't understand when you book a musician, that is the rate, because they have let go this same amount of worth for your function. So it is within your your own wisdom how to use the musician. If you're not strategic enough to use the musician, it's your own loss, right? It's like you bring Michael Jackson, or I mean like other musician like Beyonce, you bring him in and you're only able to slot in 2 songs. You cannot say, oh, discount because it's 2 songs. You can't do that, you know.
You just paid, I mean, for...
He just left everything for your function,
right,
because to the agreed amount. So yang bikin gergitan is sometimes these kind of things.
You mean sudah like agree sudah
and on another, you know, come on lah, discount lah sikit, you know, yes. So that thing still happen.
That sounds like it's planned.
Sometimes it is planned, and yes, sometimes there are blacklisted organizers that we should be aware of. Like some musician and young musician need to, you know, be well informed. This organizer, be very careful. You know, this kind of thing. Be very careful, because they might negotiate you sometimes, you know, last minute, especially if overseas, or like sometimes, like for example, they come in and said they purposely plan so that you make mistakes, certain things. Like they plan you to come late, they change the time suddenly. You can only come 6 o'clock because it's far, like Rosaria, for example. And they purposely change it to 4 o'clock. You can't make it on time. They said, it's okay, it's okay.
We just
right?
deduct this, deduct that.
And then they said, okay, play more, blah, blah, blah. Then they said, hey, you know what, I'm not happy just now you come late. Or, you know, should discount line. These are some technical skills where, as far as discount or, you know, ripping off musician is involved lah. Yeah. So be very careful, things like that. So it's just when that hits you, or you get, I don't know, use the word scam, or, you know, these are the only thing that, you know, sometimes hits us. But yeah, as time goes by, you'll be able to know, okay, don't work with this, or be careful to work with this. So you get well informed and you circulate that. So yeah, musicians, when they are well informed, they can be more careful. So yeah, but then again, no doubt some musicians also suffering. They said getting out of job, diorang tidak laku lagi, you know, things like that. Of course, I cannot deny whether you laku atau tidak laku lagi. These things will eventually, you know, comes to a time. If you're a musician and you're depending on looks, when the looks rubs away and habis. When I say depend on looks, and not depend on singing or depending on skills. So usually this thing doesn't last long. You're depending on looks. But if you're depending on true talent, you're always upgrading yourself. You're always, you know, you're purely able to sing really well. Your skills in musicality, and you're always giving out knowledge to youngsters. You remain relevant in the industry. You're always looking at what is new and what is next to contribute. You will remain relevant. Yeah, for those who feel what difficult to start.
I mean, for those who want to start, what's your just to summarize that? What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, like I say, some will feel they are failure being a musician, or some for those young who feels music have not contributed anything to them. Maybe they have a different calling. Maybe they have other different calling, or maybe they are just not hardworking enough, or they have not maybe getting enough information or meeting the right people, or maybe they have not seen enough, or maybe they have not really studied what kind of business is actually already available here, right?
I guess what I'm getting from you, what you're saying is the perspective is not right.
Yes.
How do you see that problem is not from a different...
They are too focusing on what we don't have. They are too focusing on obstacles.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at what kind of outcome that they desire and start working on the process. That's it. It's actually a very simple mindset.
True.
Dream of the outcome and hold with immense confidence on the outcome that you desire. Really feel it and really imagine it.
That's a nice tagline. Dream of the outcome.
Desire for that outcome, yes.
Desire for that.
Yeah. And hold it with confidence and start working on your everyday activity. Just works on what is that outcome, the process. So you're gonna have to design your activity every day, your in the process for that outcome. That's it. And you gotta really want it badly, you know. It's not as easy. Of course, when I say work hard, it means a lot to it. It's not as easy as like, oh, you know what, I'm supposed to make an appointment, but he's not free. You know what, I'm just useless. I'm not gonna meet him anymore. Just give up. You know, as easy as like making appointment. Like, you know, young kids, just to make appointment to meet up with some clients. It takes more than that. For those who have made it, they make crazy appointments, and their persistence is crazy. Tebal muka. Yes, they will just go in and say, I know you guys invested one of the most, you know, high scale festival. I just want to do something. You know, it's like people will say, who are you? You know, but that is like behind their mind, that person might say that to them. That's like behind their mind. They already want to just look at the outcome. I just want to talk to you, and the rest doesn't matter.
Sure.
You know,
I think on that note, thank you.
Yeah, with that note,
Thank you for spending time. Thank you for all that information. This is like pecah sa otak ka.
Thanks for having me, and I hope with a little bit of what I've shared, I hope to inspire people to you know to perhaps maybe unlock certain, to be able to unlock certain, maybe what is troubling or getting stuck in where they are. To always remember, maybe looking at having a desire for the outcome. Just look at the process, design your activity, but just making sure you're making progress of the process. It's not about completing today, tomorrow. Just make progress of it. That it's going to keep on moving a step more every day. So I hope that contributes something for our fellow musicians, our young musicians, our friends in the industry, arts. This is me, Jessel Yansalang.